Welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny.
JD.
So, JD, what you got for me?
Nothing happy. It's a bit sad, but it's nice. It's a lovely song. So it's another Japanese original.
Oh, I do love a Japanese ballad.
Yeah, lovely.
I'm assuming ballad.
Yeah, I think you'd class it as a ballad. It's you guys already know from the thumbnail, but it's called "Don't Leave Me," and it's from their 2018 Japanese album "Face Yourself." And the song, again, open to interpretation. Be interesting to hear what you think and what you guys thought when you heard it. But it seems to be a song of them desperately trying to save someone or protect them from hardships and kind of wanting to hold on to that person.
Oh, is it to their younger selves?
Could be. Who knows?
Having heard it, I have an interpretation.
Yeah, we'll see the lyrics, but yeah. So it's a sad song, but it's a lovely song. It's actually one of my favourites. But it's not one of those ones that obviously, like, it's not a banger that you put on and like, but when it comes on I'm like, oh yeah, like, it's lovely.
Hits you in the feels.
Yeah, it's lovely. And it's just one of those songs that it's one of those songs that, like, sounds weird to say, like, oh, I couldn't even imagine how the melody would go, because you can't imagine any song, but it's an unexpected melody that you're like, this is beautiful. So, yeah.
Talk about Japanese ballad. The Japanese ballad ones get me. Lights, obviously, personal favourite.
Yeah.
And I go through phases where I will have to, at least once a day, listen to Crystal Snow.
Oh. Mine is Your Eyes Tell. I love that song.
Based on what you've said, I'm assuming I won't have heard this at club night.
I don't think so.
Because they do play ballads.
They do.
And we have a good sing-song.
I don't think they've played this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You'll have to say if you've ever heard it before.
So please remember to like, comment and subscribe in the comments. As JD said before, what was your interpretation of this song when you first heard it? Look at those pictures.
I know, it's quite a clash really, isn't it? Because the song is obviously going to be a bit deep and feeling, and then they are looking tasty snacks up there.
Especially when not hearing it yet, it just says "Don't leave me," and it's like,
yes,
hadn't even entered my mind.
Yeah.
What instrument is that?
Keyboard?
Oh, synth?
Yeah.
that "Don't Leave Me," the higher pitched bit is familiar. Okay. I think that's going to take a few listens because I felt like it kept changing up, which I think threw me off a bit. So I think a lot of I thinks. It'd take a few listens to know when they're coming to fully immerse in the song.
Yeah.
Does that
To
make
just
sense?
get used to the melody
Yeah.
and that. Yeah, that's fair because I've heard that so many times, and so I can see how it's almost like a contradiction in the fast beat that's happening and it's like building suspense, and yet the song itself is not. The vocals are not actually fast, but the beat in the background is, and it creates for me this sense of desperation.
Yeah.
And I think that they do such a fantastic job of any group and any song, but when it's things like this of what you can feel is like really heightened emotion, when you've got multiple members singing a song and then you've got to do your bit and the next person has to pick up, but maintaining the feeling that the person before had, because when you put the entire thing together, it's got to flow. And I think this is a really good example of how they have maintained that all the way through. So even from one person's line to the next, the emotional journey is not disconnected, and it just builds and builds and builds. And the way they sing with such desperation is quite fascinating.
Something that I did think was interesting, maybe it's because they changed up who was singing line by line more often than usual.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, I was going to say, well, we didn't get much J-Hope, but I was like, but then we didn't get much Sugar and RM either. But then I don't feel like we got much of each member of the vocal line that were taking up the space that they would have had.
Yeah.
I think it's because it changed.
Yeah, and in a way, I think that song, I don't actually know if it is a little bit shorter than others, but for me, that song often feels quite short. And it might be because you don't get big chunks of anyone.
That's what I mean.
It just keeps changing.
Yeah, so it made me feel like I didn't get a lot of anyone when actually...
Yeah. But ironically enough, for me personally, that makes me interpret the desperation even more so. Because it's each of them, like one person comes in, then the next, and the next, and the next. And it almost adds, it almost adds to that.
I feel like my just offhand comment that I made before the song is how I interpreted it. That they are talking to their younger selves.
It so could be, yeah. It could be.
So I didn't feel like they were talking to another person that they were trying to be with or that was there. Because they were talking about the past and the present and the future.
Yeah, they could be talking to themselves like to a mirror, because there's no irony there that the album it's on is called Face Yourself. So it could absolutely be them talking to them to another version of themselves.
Or every version of themselves.
True.
Because you're looking at what you've been through in the past and you're trying to, tell yourself in the past it's hard now, but it will work out. The present of maintaining what you have and going through the motions and, living your life now while still worrying about what's to come and what do I still need to do prepared for my future.
Yeah. And,
if you try and think too hard about it, life gets very stressful.
It does, yeah. And the don't leave me could not be, it might not be to someone in particular. It could just be to their own
don't lose
strength,
yourself.
their own strength. Don't leave me, don't, try and keeping it together kind of thing.
And I always imagine that the position that BTS have found, I say found themselves in, not found. They work to get there. But there must be a certain fear of what people can become with celebrity.
Yeah, absolutely. Sugar's spoken about that.
So
before.
that idea of don't leave me is in, let's not change into someone I don't want to be.
Yeah. I mean, this was 2018, so they were well on their way there to that global attention.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very prominent, very poignant.
Do you think another interpretation could be that they're singing to ARMY?
Could be.
Because idol life and what we've seen from other idols, it's make one misstep, which really is a very tiny misstep, and they're cancelling you.
On a ledge.
People are turning on you.
Yeah.
All it takes is a dating rumour, true or not.
Yeah. And who I was in the past, you accepted me then, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to be that same person now or in the future. So will you still leave me? Or
And, I mean, I know you said 2018. When did they get their
first day, Sam?
No, the BTS law that allowed them to delay military. Because we know that they've had their concerns about going into the military and about ARMY not waiting for them. Which, have you met us? I'm offended you would think that I would leave.
That's a good point. I don't know. Because they were going to... Weren't they going to finish, I think, originally 2019? Because then that's when they started doing Dynamite and Butter.
Dynamite was 2020.
And then it was the... And then
pandemic,
obviously pandemic, and then they did the
So I mean,
album.
was that on their mind?
Could have been. I imagine that there would... Basically, we're just through this conversation, we know that they would have had plenty of inspiration for material.
Yeah.
Because, and again, open to interpretation, maybe that song represents all of those fears, you know?
Yeah.
Not just one of them. Because they would have had plenty to attach to that feeling.
Yeah.
Which they have spoken about in other ways before. So I don't think any of those are wrong. I think they could all be right.
So I'm always right.
That's not what I said. But yeah, I love that song. Even though it is sad and it's very desperate, I love the artistry of how they've done that.
So that was our reaction to Don't Leave Me.
Your theme song.
It's not Don't Leave Me, mine is You Can't Leave
Me. Yeah.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.